Hi, welcome to Amazing Places. We are at the Sheridan Press today, so let's head inside and see what they have in store for us. Hi.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey.
How are you?
Nice to see you, Michaela.
You too.
So I'm here at the Sheridan Press with Caitlin, and she's just going to give us a little bit of a rundown of the press. So, would you like to give us a little bit of history about the press and how long you guys have been here?
Yes, yeah, definitely. So the press has history, we have roots dating back to 1887, and in fact, here is a picture of the front page for the Sheridan Post back in 1887, and then in 1930, the Sheridan Post and another newspaper, the Sheridan Enterprise, combined to create the Sheridan Press.
Okay.
So since 1887, we've just been really dedicated to sharing the news of Sheridan County before we really even were officially, historically, a county. So yeah, it's pretty great.
And how do you guys like being so close to downtown?
Oh, we love it. It's so great. You know, I can walk to work. Many of us can walk or bike to work, which is really great. We're within minutes of great restaurants and cafes, and in the morning we can sometimes smell like the coffee beans roasting from local cafes, and we can also smell the malt from the breweries. So it just really shows that you're connected to downtown. And in summer we have the farmers market and the third Thursday street festivals, thanks DSA,
Yes.
just outside of our door. So it's really, we feel so part of the community here. It's really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love being downtown.
I know, it's so great. Yeah, so the press has been all about trying to connect more and more with our fellow businesses. We have, we're first and foremost, of course, a newspaper, but we have grown along with the times. So we have a really strong digital presence to reach folks who aren't always able to have a print newspaper if they live elsewhere. We have a new app called My Bighorns that has a community calendar and different elements to try to let people know more of what's happening in a more convenient way.
If you don't have it, I recommend that you get it.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have a program called Press Pass that works with local businesses, and right now we're really featuring on just highlighting what those businesses have to offer, since it's kind of a different time. But usually there are special offers and events and experiences that members get. So yeah, we're just really lucky to live in such a great and supportive community.
So what is it like then to work for the press?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's strange because you just really, it's amazing to see the newspaper happen. Like you see the newspaper in the news before it comes out. So I don't work in the newsroom per se. And when I started working for the press, I just thought that it was really cool to get to see the print newspaper right outside of my office door. I can see the newspaper actually printing, which is great. And I just feel like it gives us a good opportunity to connect more with, I meet so many people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, do you want to give us a little tour? Give us some more insight of what it's like to
Would love to
be at the press.
Let's head to the newsroom.
Okay.
This is Ashley Snoozy. She's our editor.
Hi.
She's one of the youngest ever and one of the first women who have been editor at the Sheridan Press, and she does a great job. Yeah. So on top of all of the news that you see in the newspaper every day, you know, breaking news, features, sports stories, our newsroom also creates these beautiful magazines. They create content for special sections that you may see, like the graduation content that was recently produced. So they work all day and all night, and they really like doing it. Yeah. So do you have something you can tell us about the experience of being the editor?
Yeah, so it's fun. It's definitely different every day. It's a constant change of things going on. And it's an important role in the community, I think, to have a newsroom so vibrant and so in the community things. It's not the best way to put it, but yeah, having people at every meeting, having people check in on people throughout the community, I think is super important, and it kind of bridges the gap between those government officials or people elected into positions and the general public who may feel like they don't have that connection. So we get to be that connection. And we also get to be that double check too of making sure that everybody that the public did elect is doing their job and doing it well and spending taxpayer dollars effectively. giving money to people like the DSA. Yeah, so keeping things going and running smoothly.
Hello, marketing team.
Yes. So here is Janae Mears. She's our lead marketing specialist.
Hi, Janae.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
So, do you just want me to tell you what we do here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'd say our most important job here is just building relationships with our clients and building that trust. And then we help businesses promote themselves. And then once we get a client to book an ad, whether it's we do print, online, we've got an app called My Bighorns. Then we work with these guys, the graphics department over here, and they make the ads look awesome. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll bring it over to John, who will show you what we do over here.
Awesome.
Hi there.
Hi. How are you today?
Doing well.
Good.
So as she mentioned, sales staff is the liaison between the clients and everything they want. And once they get that all figured out, they hand it over to us. So they'll kind of get all the information, get it organized on our lovely little job tickets here, and then we'll use that information to build up ads for the clients. And then they continue to be the go-between with what we build, presenting it to the clients, and we'll go back and forth until we get them just what they want. And then, so that's a lot of what we do over here in this department. But there's a whole lot of other things we do. This is a good example of something we do for the regular paper, but also all the magazines we do, the same process has to be done for that. So any of these lovely advertisements we see here in these magazines, same kind of process. In addition to actually building magazines, that's another one of our major jobs. So we do all the layout for things like this and special sections, things like that. I'm working on the volunteer guide for Serve Wyoming right now. It's one of the things we do. Whole lot of different stuff throughout the year. So
You're really busy.
we tend to keep busy. Yes, we try. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is our front office, as you can see, and these wonderful patient people kind of make sure that the press goes out to the community. So here's Yvonne and Alec. They work in the circulation team, communicating with the carriers and newspaper deliverers who go all across Sheridan County, making sure people can sign up well for the paper, and they do a great job. So
Awesome. Well, thank you for what you guys do.
And here is Pierce.
Hello.
Pierce greets our visitors and also works in the classified ads.
Okay.
So when you see garage sale listings and such similar items, this is the person before it. He also sends very funny emails, a little like insider knowledge. It's always good, it's like 3 p.m. I think when you send your emails, and they always have something funny and different. So
Good to know.
office flavor.
And I feel like if I need something, I'll shoot you an email.
Wonderful. And actually, so our office is we're all always kind of communicating with each other because all of us are in different departments, but all are very connected. So here's Bruce. He works he's chatting with Deb, who is one of our graphic designers, and Bruce works on legal notices and obituaries, as well as, communicates with the public. So, yeah.
The mail.
And get the mail, yes.
That's important.
It's especially nice at this time of year.
Yeah.
So we'll go back into the printing press. It's going to be loud, but we'll try. And then we'll go. Hi. So this is Chris Gale. I'm not sure if you'll hear any of this.
Hi. Sorry, I gotta keep my head down when I'm doing this.
So Chris is working on the plates, and so this is going to be what they print the newspaper from. So you can kind of sometimes even see, he's going to have it printed over there. And it's cool, you can actually see the embossed, what the front page will look like, for example. It's pretty amazing.
What we're doing is earning the last of our A section. So today's double run. With the setup that we have on our press, we can run 2 sides of color on one web down here on the A lead. That's our main lead.
Okay.
B lead is usually our sports section. We can run color on one side of that web and black and white on the other. So that gives us different page combinations, color combinations, depending on what kind of advertising we've sold and what we're putting in the paper that day, what kind of color photos, articles, whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pull up a picture of one of the plates that were. So this is everything we've printed today on this imager
Oh my gosh.
already. And we have 2 more runs after this. So this was a commercial job first thing this morning. That was 2 runs. Now we're down here into the Sheridan Press. So if you look, these are all plates that we printed. So I'll pull up page 2. Because that's what we're printing next. Actually, that's one of those plates against the wall right behind me. So what happens is, when we get our stuff from the newsroom, they go through and build their stories, they build the paper and everything, and then they rip it over to us on one of 2 imagers. These are both plate makers. This one is our older one. It's still a good unit, and we still use it, but it's less environmentally friendly.
Okay.
When we ran one plate, we figured on 15 gallons of water to make
Wow.
one plate. With this machine, which is our primary now, we develop them on the press, so everything comes off on the paper, goes into recycle, back to our paper manufacturers who send it right back to us.
Wow.
So when it comes to printing process, you've got your 4 primaries, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Those 4 colors make up everything else. So if we're printing, say, a logo for somebody, we use those 4 colors to build a spot color. So not only does it build your photographs, full color photos, but we can come pretty close to a specific color, which is a spot color.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing most of the time with ads. Sometimes we have to manipulate and it doesn't always turn out perfectly, but it's an imperfect process. Believe me. So what we're doing, I'm going to start this, and this is going to take it into the imager itself. These plates are light sensitive. There's a laser box underneath this cylinder, and you'll see it start spinning. Right now it's loading that plate around that cylinder, and there's a laser. And if you look over here, you can kind of see a red glow. What's going on is there's a box under there, and it's on rails or tracks, and it's moving underneath that cylinder while it spins, and there's 24 laser diodes burning that image onto the plate.
Oh my gosh.
So even if we break down as far as our laser box, we have the ability to still run slower, but yet we can still get images of plates off. So here's the one I pulled up to prove the plate I showed. This is actually what they look like when they come off of the imager. This one's just punched and bent. And we'll hang that next. They're pulling right now for this run. So this is going to be page 2 of today's daily, 2 and 7.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, you open up a paper, you're looking at page 1,
Yeah.
page 2. That's one web. So on the other side, you have to go 8 and 7.
Okay.
So they have to back each other up and
Right.
correspond correctly.
Right.
So once these are printed, they go on the plate or on the press, and we hang them. Once we hang them, we drop our water, and I'll show you, and then our ink. Together, that combination, water and ink, peels this coating off, and the plate is developed. Paper's expensive, ink's expensive, all of it. So again, I'll punch it, and then I'll see how it's upside down.
Oh yeah.
When I hang it, those 3 little notches will be on the top.
Okay.
Come on out. Those 3 notches are your top, and that middle notch of those 3 is the one you hang on the pin.
Okay. Is this how you make magazines too? How you print magazines?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Similar but different.
paginating, all that is real simple.
But we don't print our magazines in-house. We just print the newspaper. Yeah.
Okay.
News
We just
sections.
can't print that much color.
Right.
And it's just, we're limited.
But we actually do, our team prints more than the Sheridan Press. We print other publications around Sheridan County and Johnson County. We print the Buffalo Bulletin, the County Bounty, Country Bounty.
We have
Okay.
commercial jobs. So when Todd goes to hang this, and you'll see, he's going to hang it like that.
Okay.
Or Zach, are you hanging?
Yeah, I got a bowl.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you show her the pin real quick too on there?
Like, what do you mean by
Like how you hang it,
Yeah.
registration on the pin and all that.
Okay,
Why
so-
we punch him.
when he punches it, you got this center hole here. That would be your pin, as he's saying, which would be your essentially your center little. That's why they call it a pin. Is there's like a little pin right
A
there.
little
Okay.
block in.
So you would just match your center hole with the middle of that pin. Then you would inch it around where.
And remember I was telling you about ink zones? So everywhere you have a lot of ink, you're going to be more open. These will be more down. The up is closed. So Todd and Zach will manipulate those keys to get the colors to print the right way. And it's not too heavy, not too light. Put it back. All right, now we're going to... So what I would do is come over here, if you stand right here and watch that plate, you'll see how it develops. I mean, you get to watch the developing process on the press. And what will happen is Chad will yell water when that needle gets to 8.
Okay. Right.
And then once we get to about 12,000 RPMs or impressions, he'll yell ink. The reason being is you've got to get the plate wet before you put the ink on or it'll just gum up. And you can have a wrap. That's not good.
You said you run it at 16.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, okay.
It can go to, I mean, it goes up to 20. We used to run at 18. And we actually slowed it down. I'm too damn old to be running around. Okay, see how Todd needs his water forms down. See how they're getting dirty right now? He said water, watch it clean up. That water is turning on, that water turned on, it's crawling up those rollers. Now he's going to drop that ink form down. Watch that plate. Now the ink is only sticking to where the image is burned onto the plate itself. Now that all goes to a rubber blanket and transfers to the paper as it comes up. Remember how I was telling you it's important, it's not important, I mean, you want your hang as close as possible, that way you're not pitching it through impression every registration you run. That's a pretty good hang. That's almost in perfect register. Not quite. So that's Todd's lead over there. Color on 2 sides. And this, remember, this isn't perfect. This is not what we're going to. And you can see the blue needs to move a little bit here. See how those red and blue lines aren't matched up on the borders? What you're doing is laying all that right on top of it itself.
Okay.
That way you get good registration. See how it's kind of out?
Yeah.
Blurry, fuzzy.
And like right there?
Yep.
Okay.
So the black obviously needs to go that way, or you can move each color individually. So you can decide, okay, if my blue and my red are close, I'll move my black, and you want to maintain your gutters as much as possible.
Right.
This is Zach's side over here. So they're only running color on one of his plates anyway.
Right.
So his page 6 side is blank, that's devoid of color. But over here, if you look, boom. Now this side, no color, because it's not we don't have enough units over there to be able to print full color on 2 sides. What we can do is, if we wanted to, we would be able to put a spot color here in that fountain and run like one other color,
Okay.
red, blue. St. Patty's Day we do green a lot. Don't use it a lot, but we use it. And again, then we'll take this whole thing over to here, it'll go in that main pocket closest to us, and that's when they start building the paper, putting the B section into the A section.
Great.
So the main pocket gets A section, B section's over in that orange cart,
Okay.
and Rob he's already got a pocket loaded up and ready to go. As soon as we're okay and we call it good, coming off of the press, boom, first stack over here, and first thing I'll do is insert 80, I believe, empties for mail, and then after that we do our run. build the paper, and then those guys are getting routes out at the table and strapping them and handing them to carriers out the door.
Wow.
It's a process.
Oh yeah.
It's a process.
So cool though.
You're welcome to come down and help out anytime.
You want to pick up the paper
You're
route, maybe?
volunteer.
Thank you so much, Chris.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I took those up, didn't you?
Yes, it is, Chad.
I never get tired of seeing that.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So yeah, I can hear from my office right there when they yell water, and I never 100% understood why they needed the water.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned something too.
You're like on the inside now.
Yeah. So that's Chad, and he's our production manager. So he directs the whole printing press room, and so right now he's doing kind of what Chris was telling you about
Checking and-
making sure it's all right for everybody. So
Okay,
yeah.
so I do have like one final question that I feel like most viewers wonder about a press. So you know when you watch a movie or something and you're working in a newsroom and people are like running around and it's like, oh, last minute, and you like work late into the night. Does that actually happen?
Yes. It definitely happens. And it, you know, whenever there's any kind of breaking news, we definitely want to report it and report it well. So it's I think it's a little different now with technology. Sometimes it's all done via Slack, that messaging service, but it is often like running around like, do we have a photo of this? Can we get a photo quickly? You know, if there's a fire of an important building, for example, we're all communicating and running around to each other's places. And it could be a little stressful, but I think also everyone is so used to that already that we all just know to like jump into the different roles. So
Are you guys ever really off duty, or do you feel like you're like always working?
I think the newsroom is always working, definitely. The newsroom and our photographer, like they're on call. They know that if something crazy happens, because we want to do that, and like I think it helps. The long hours are helped by everyone being so passionate about doing the right piece of their job. So yeah, but it's definitely hard work, and they definitely do a great job at all of that. But before you go, I just wanted to kind of wave. She's on the phone right now, but I wanted to kind of have you wave at our publisher, because all the different teams that you've met today are directed by her. Like she makes it all run smoothly from the printing press to the newsroom. So you can just wave at Kristen. She's very busy. She was actually the youngest ever editor and the first female publisher, and female editor, I believe. So yeah, she's done amazing work with the press and has really like brought us into the future.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, great.
Well,
team.
thank you so much for spending the time with me to
happy to.
get to know about another amazing place that we have right here in Sheridan that a lot of people know about but don't know exactly what goes into creating the press. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and for the time that the Sheridan Press donated to Amazing Places.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
See you
thank
soon.
Yes.